this video, you will learn how to create a refinance total cost analysis presentation. You'll be able to quickly identify a current situation showing the current mortgage with any relative new comparable options to save the consumers thousands of dollars. Your savings are measured by graphs and charts to show your consumers how they can save money and build financial wealth. Through this video, you will learn how to compare different options against the current mortgage and also how to identify including all fees and costs to a new loan amount, minimizing stress and worry for your consumers with any cash out amounts owed at the end of their transaction. Let's get started. Select New Client to begin, or feel free to click on any past client record. Begin creating the presentation by filling in the required fields as indicated by the red asterisks, such as the borrower's name. Additional information is optional and can be filled in for a more complete presentation. There's a question below. Is this a client or prospect? Answer the question appropriately. Leave the radio dial on No to produce a total cost analysis presentation. Yes is geared to more of a rent versus own presentation. See more training on how to complete a rent versus own presentation. Click Next to move forward. There are no required fields on the contact form. Feel free to fill in any information for a more personal presentation. Click Next to proceed. Select the appropriate refinance goal tailored to your customer's financial needs. In our scenario, we're doing a rate and term, so I will be selecting Lower the interest rate. Click Next to proceed. Insert a property value. Once complete, select the Next button to move ahead. It's now time to outline the current mortgage details. Start off by entering in a first payment date. Insert the original loan amount, the current interest rate, along with the current term. The system will automatically update the remaining loan balance. If the balance is a little bit different based on your payoff demand, you can feel free to overwrite this data to match. You'll also see the system automatically calculates the principal and interest payment. Once complete, move forward by selecting the next option. Insert the monthly cost for the current mortgage. Include the hazard insurance, property tax amounts, and any other payments associated with the current mortgage, such as mortgage insurance or any other insurance such as flood. If your current mortgage has a second lien, you would select the appropriate radio dial, move forward by selecting Next, and insert the second lien information. If your current mortgage is just the first lien, you'll move ahead by selecting Next. You'll notice there are no required fields within the affordability form. Feel free to fill in any information that you feel is relevant for a more personal presentation for your customers. Check out the reinvestment strategy training to learn how the affordability form is used. Let's move ahead by selecting Next. The expenditure form is a second screen within affordability that can be bypassed. Let's hit Next. It's time to name your first product. Make sure for best results you keep it within 15 characters or less, including any spacing. Best practices: name your product something simple that your customers can understand. There's a question: is this a refinance, yes or no? We're going to select yes. In our example, there is no cash out. This is just a simple rate and term. Our property value has been inserted from our Assumptions tab. Our equity position has been completed along with our new base loan amount. If you were going to increase the loan amount by adding cash, all you have to do is overwrite this data with the new loan amount. But in our case, we are just doing a rate reduction refinance. Insert the new rate for the new comparable option. Disclose the new terms for the new product. The system automatically defaults to a fixed loan type, but if you had something other than a fix, you would select the appropriate drop downs, select Next, and move forward by entering in the ARM details. All of the required areas have been completed. Now let's move along by selecting the next option. Here's where you want to include any of your closing cost details. You can simply hit add a fee to disclose all of your lender items, or you could select from a fee template that you have stored and created. Check out how to create a fee template training for more understanding on how you too can create fee templates. Once you select the appropriate fee template, you're now ready to move along and insert these fees right onto your transaction. Add any associated points and any days of interest. If the days of interest should also be added to the loan amount, select the appropriate radio dial. Once complete, hit next. Here's the monthly cost for your new reduced rate refinance. Add any of the hazard insurance and property tax information. There are additional areas for flood. You have an area for mortgage insurance as well, if applicable. Below is where you would scroll down and collect any reserves for your current transaction. If there is a second lien associated to your new product, you would select the radio dial just like before and select second lien. Let's move ahead by selecting next. Here's the analysis summary. The analysis summary is where you can dictate the outputs of what is being shown on the total cost analysis. If there's any associated appreciation rates, you can access that information here by either leaving what's there standard or overriding the data. Here's the short-term analysis in months. You can see what the savings would be over a 60-month horizon, but you can always change these numbers here. So if you want to show a shorter term, you can just access the arrow and point down, or you can override the data. This applies for the short term and long term. Notice the long terms are set in years. So right now I'm showing what the savings would be over a 15-year horizon. But you can always change the number of years that you would like to educate your customer on. The monthly savings benchmark shows at a glance what the savings on a monthly basis would be between all your products. You can create up to 4 scenarios when providing information to your customer. In our scenario, we just have the current mortgage and a reduced rate refinance. There is a savings by a reduced rate of $924.49. Here's the short-term savings benchmark. The logic is pointed to the current mortgage. But if you wanted to change the logic and start the comparable from the reduction rate refinance, you have the ability to change the graphs as well. The long-term chart type has several options. You can show your customer total principal paid, total net worth, or total interest and MI the customer will pay over a certain duration, 15 years. Select next when all of your adjustments have been made. Here are our 2 options that we've created. We have the current mortgage shown along with the refinance. There are also payment notes. So if you want to add some additional content, please feel free to add any additional payment notes. Here's the monthly payment difference with additional sidebar text that you can add color to provide additional education for your customers when reviewing the total cost analysis. You'll also see the short term and long term. Let's jump right over to preview. You'll want to make sure that this notify me button is checked every time your customers review the report. And add a quote date. So whenever you're quoting rates, you want to make sure that you have the most updated quote date on the total cost analysis. Select generate link. This is where you can copy and paste your link into an email, or select the email icon to get an email right over to your customers, showing them the dynamic link for their total cost analysis presentation. Here's the add audio and video where you can add a video message, a narrative content right onto your presentation quickly. So as soon as your customers review your total cost analysis, they can see you shedding value and education based on what the previous conversation was about regarding their refinance. I hope today's demonstration was very helpful for you to understand how you could quickly create a total cost analysis using the refinance strategy. For more questions, please reach out to us at support@mortgagecoach.com.